know how else to tell my demographic of people that it's over. I don't know how clearer I can say it to us than to say it's over. Our control, our power, our privilege, it's over.
Shalom. Let's give all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the teachers, zealots, and the boss of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers out there for know the truth, faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to you brothers and sisters tuning in, Shalom. Let's go into our first precept here. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 16, starting verse 21. It says, Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evil grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Now you saw in the opening clip that Edomite came out, okay, and she stated that that the time on the rulership of the so-called white man is at an end. And this lesson is going to go into Esau, aka the so-called white man world is collapsing, and we can see this collapse that's coming on right now. Now to those jakes out there, the part of the 2/3 out there, they don't see this because right now their head is snugly, and comfortably, shoved up Esau's, so what, so this is what's going on right now, and this is the reason why the Lord has set up, the man, stand with the elders and teachers of Great Millstone, and also the likewise brothers, the Golden Highway and the Byron, and also in the Unicorn, to do I continuously edify and feed the sheep. Because why? Yahushua Mashiach said it. If you love me, you will do what? Feed his sheep, and this is the job of the shepherds, okay, the watchmen of Yasharallah. So let's go into this lesson here, because right now, as you see going on right now with the joblessness, you see in the famine, you see these encampments that's building up around these cities. You see the trash that's piling up around these cities. You're starting to see the pestilence, and the thing that you were seeing growing up around in this world is what? All of the World War III. Okay, lately here in Great Babylon, America, you're seeing these catastrophes as these trains are derailing and spilling chemicals in the air. The water's starting to become poisoning. You have these homeless encampments that are near the water system. Okay, that the cities uses. Okay, where people are urinating and putting their feces inside there, and the city said, okay, it's all okay, because any of us who know what government workers do is what? They don't do anything for their money. Okay, they pay very little. Okay, and guess what? They do even less than what they pay for. This is the book of Revelations 18, and verse 7. It says, how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously. Who? It's talking about the Edomite Empire, Great Babylon, America. Okay, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she has said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I'm no widow, and she'll see no sorrow. So here's a place that has never seen any type of sorrow. Okay, now I just started out in 2nd Ezra 16, verse 21, where it says, victuals will be so good cheap upon the earth. If you look at it right now, despite the fact that gas prices is going up and you see grocery prices going up, this is still considered cheap when you go into other countries where a gallon of milk might be what? $15. Okay, the equivalent of $15. You might spend the equivalent of $100 to get what? A small little paper bag of food, because many of these countries, in particular the Caribbean countries, where a lot of Jacobs, the Benjamites, and the Levites are, guess what? Has to import the food. They don't have the farming and all of the the R&D and the operations that the United States and these other countries have that export food. So everything has to be imported. So even though it's expensive here, it is seemed cheap here. So this is the reason why everybody's still in their comfort zone. Walk around. Okay, if you don't believe me, walk around and take a look at these people's face. They are lost in the sauce. And it says, evil is growing upon the earth, sore famine and great confusion. These people really believe that this is just another reality television show, that this is just another news. Of course, we know Esau media is full of lies, and it's not giving the truth. Okay, but we, as the shepherds, as the watchmen, we are digging in deep. We are really digging in deep into Esau's secret places, and the Lord is revealing exactly what this man is trying to hide, and it is what? Your world is collapsing, Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, and it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power, God, who judge her. So guess what? Despite the fact that so many people out there saying, well, World War III can't happen, why would they do that? That'll be the end of the world. No. It's not going to be the end of the world, because see, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob, Yashar, also called blacks, Native Americans and Latinos, is the beginning. So this world has no end. How can it end if the Malak is returning back to do what? Render judgment in his fury and anger on these wicked nations here. Okay, we're going to go a little further into this here, because see, this has got to let you people know, and particularly you Babylonians, okay, which includes you 2/3 that are clinging on to this life here, okay, without any type of like mind thinking or really reflection on the fact that, you know what, something isn't right here. Maybe those guys on the highway and the byway, on the unicorn, you know, dressed up in the fringes, maybe they're onto something here, because things haven't been going quite well as what I thought it would be, or what I expect it to be. This is the book of Isaiah 31:1, and it says, woe to them that go down to Egypt, which is another name for Great Babylon, America, which is known as what? Spiritual Sodom and Egypt, for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. When you look at the image of Great Babylon, America, it's very powerful. Powerful military, it's wealthy, it's got a lot of food, so much food people can throw it away. You got buildings that are sitting empty, even though a lot, thousands, if not millions of people are laying on the street, sleeping out in the cold every night, dying of hypothermia. Yet still is what? Millions of empty buildings, okay? This is this place. This is Great Babylon, America, of confusion. That doesn't make any sense, right? How can you have homeless people when you have a lot of empty buildings? But it says, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither see the Lord Yahweh Shemi Ashai. Meaning what? They are really invested, deeply invested, as if like Esau is a stock. I mean, Jake look at Esau as if he's a stock, and they're deeply invested into Esau. Okay, and whatever comes to this man, I mean, literally, Jake is holding their breath for the next lie that's going to come out of these doggone Edomites' mouth, the so-called white man's mouth. These men that call themselves presidents or leaders of the so-called free world. Okay, when you go into the book of Ezekiel 14:21, it says, for thus said the Lord, power, how much more when I send my 4 sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. Now, there's judgment that's going to come to us. There's judgment that's going to come to Jerusalem. In particular, this is going to happen to these 2/3. Remember, a lot of them, they bow down to the mandate. They bow down to the BG serum, okay? And they sure as hell going to bow down to the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, okay? Which is the RFID microchip that right now, they're peddling out right now. In the state of Texas, is mandatory now. You got to get your doggone, your pets, okay, injected with the chip. Now, why can you put the chip just in the collar, okay? So why it has to go into your pet, actually into your pet, okay? Now, as they start off with pet, next is going to be old people. Next is going to be, the minority people, which they call us, which we are the majority, okay, our so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latino. And then it's going to be everyone. We already know this is a gradualism that's coming right now. In fact, they're offering all of these free, incentive for you to go get your pet back and also get your pet chipped. Okay, and this is what's going on right now. Okay, so right now, okay, these judgments are going to be coming on Yasharala. Okay, because why? Our people are hard-headed, stubborn, and wicked. Choose to what? Run down to Egypt for help, and we're letting you know. Okay, the so-called white man world is collapsing. Meaning what? Look at it. Unemployment. Who's unemployed first? Us. Okay, who's the one who's jobless first? Us. Who's the one who have lack of Medicare? Us. Who's the one who can't afford food? Us. Okay, who's the one that's being persecuted? Us. Oppressed? Okay, us. Okay. These are the things that are happening right now. Yet still you choose to go and follow a king that can't take care of you or save you. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 3:1. It says, woe unto the wicked. It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. Okay, if you choose to be connected with the wicked, okay, walk the path of the wicked. This is the 2/3 I'm talking to here right now, okay. And who's the wicked? The wicked is the so-called white man, okay. We can actually narrow it down to these so-called Jewish, these Amalekites, okay. These are the people that really rule the world, okay. These guys, your Bilderbergs and your Rockefeller and those people, under these pseudo names that are really actually pulling the strings. So of course, we know Yahweh Shemi Ashai is the ultimate string puller, and this is his book, and this is how it's going to go, okay. And it's all by Yahweh Shemi Ashai. But we are warning our people, because what? We are told to put our face against Mount Seir, okay, against the Babylonian rulership, okay, against this dark cloud that's hovering over the heads of our people, so that they can't see what the real truth is and the danger that is currently facing them right now here in Great Babylon, okay. So this wicked, this ill, okay, this reward that's going to come to the wicked, the so-called white man, is going to be going to you 2/3 too. Because why? You don't see that his world is collapsing. He's losing grip. His lies is being exposed. Okay, his people are not trusting him. Even many of them are starting to realize, okay, that they don't have the so-called white privilege that they had before. Okay, and this is where you're going to see where all of this, civil war is going to break out loose, and you see the Egyptians go against Egyptians. Because why? They're starting to feel, okay, very threatened. Okay, and this is the way cavemen are. Remember, they're very vile and uncivilized, and they came out of the cave. They've been civilized by us. They've been given the opportunity for nearly a millennium to do what? Rule this world and utter wickedness. Okay, and these underling peasants that are working every single day, that are very proud of themselves that they've had this so-called white privilege, which really they're peasants. Okay, are starting to see, well, wait a minute. Okay, I'm not really above these people that we've been oppressing all of these years that we read about in the book. I'm not feeling it. Okay, this is the book of Joel 3, and starting with verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. So guess what? There's a judgment that's coming. World War III is coming. That is coming. Check this out.
There was a nuclear war. A few years from now, all this whole place, everything, it's gone. Just gone.
See, there it is. World War III is coming. So Esau knows about this. He's put it through his movies, and he's put these after effects. What can possibly be the survival thing? We dig underground. We store enough food for 10, 15, 20 years, all the other different things. And this lesson, I'm not going to go into Jeremiah 16, which talks about us going down there and scooping them out with our bare hands and putting them in chains and doing all kinds of horrible things to them for the next millennium. Okay. But as we see here, obviously, Esau is preparing for what? The obvious, because Esau, while he does not have the spirit of the Lord on him, the way the servant of Yahushua HaMashiach has, Esau has the ability. Okay, he studies things, he researches things, and whatever he has grasped at it, okay, even though he thinks its queendom is going to last forever, okay, he is prepared for what? Plan B. This is the so-called white man. See, you Jake, so there, you're not prepared for plan B. You're only plan A, which is what? Go to Esau for help. That's it. That's all you do is go to Esau for help. Okay, and Esau's cutting those help off right now, as we see right now. Social Security is getting cut down. Okay, a lot of these old people, including these old Edomites, okay, so-called white people, are gonna find themselves on the street. They can't live in their house. Okay, they're gonna find themselves on the street and highway. Well, this is Deuteronomy 37. That's coming back and hitting these people. Okay, because why? This is the judgment of the Lord. Now, we let you know, and this lesson is about what? The so-called white man world is collapsing, which is going to lead into a horrible, horrible conclusion. Okay? So you can see what Jake is looking for. See, Jake is looking for that one big thing to happen, that one big dramatic thing to happen. It is going to take place, and it's known as what? The lake of fire. And you better hope that you're not part of the 2/3 to participate inside that. Okay? You will get your wish of a dramatic finish. This is Isaiah 34 and start verse 1, and we're going to read the entire first 6 verse here. And it says, come ye near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear, and all that therein, that the world and all the things that come forth out of it. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. Yet utterly destroy them, he had delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also should be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountain shall be melted with their blood. Now we know this has happened throughout history, where the Lord has destroyed the enemies and the armies of these other nations. Okay, but just as roughly paraphrasing here, what has happened in the past is going to happen what? In the future. Okay, because there's no new thing, there's nothing new under the sun. So here we talk about World War III right now, in this same way you can look at the scenario and see the World War III, nobody's gonna be burying anybody. There ain't gonna be no yellow ribbon. There ain't gonna be no, hey, come home and march down the street for victory and all this other stuff. Esau is not going to be fighting some Mogadishu army or going to Ethiopia or these so-called third world countries, nations anymore. No, the Lord is going to make it very dramatic, because this is going to be a World War III, a war unlike anything ever seen before. And it says, and all the hosts of heaven should be dissolved, and the heaven should be rolled together as a scroll, nuclear blast, and all their hosts shall fall down, and the leaf falleth off from the wine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Idumea is another name for Great Babylon, America. Okay, That's what it's place. Spiritual Sodom in Egypt, okay, has many names, okay, is coming now in Idomia, okay, and it's not just only the continent of the United States, it's also the queendom, okay, of these Babylonians, these Idumeans, okay, the so-called white man queendom, which is a big entity across this earth. And it says, the sword of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is filled with blood, it is made fat with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goat and with the fat of the kidney of rams. For the Lord Yahweh Shemashah had a sacrifice in Bozrah, another name, okay, Bozrah, okay, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So there is a great slaughter that's going to be coming here. I brought to you when I first opened up with what? Revelations 18:7, it says, what, how much she glorified herself, and says she was a widow sitting as a queen, and she's now been a widow, okay, and she'll see no sorrow. Yet still the Lord is going to bring that judgment in one day. Death, pestilence, okay, all the plagues of the earth. Okay, we talk about the four-sword judgment. These are all things that is going to take place here. And if you're part of that 2/3 that clinging on to Esau, you are going to dwell with it. Again, I'm going to close up with this lesson that Esau, aka the so-called white man world, is collapsing. And you need to understand this. Esau is the end of the world, which is right. This world is going to be coming to an end. This wickedness is coming to an end, and Jacob is the beginning of the one that follow. I'd like to close up by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honor to teachers that listen to the boss of Great Millstone, also to you brothers that put on this truth, faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and to you brothers and sisters that are tuning in. Shalom.